All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Word with Ty Brownlow. I am your host, Ty Brownlow, and remember, no one is worthless. No story is worthless. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I have a very special guest for you. Give you a couple of words about my guest. Creative, generosity, technology, entrepreneur. All the way from Columbia, South Carolina. Everybody put your hands together for Ken Walker. What's going on?
Got to clap for myself sometimes.
He's like, wait a minute. Yeah, I do all that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you know what? I'm good. Yeah. You know what? The boy good. All right.
Look, I appreciate it, man. Thank you for taking the time out to have me on your show. Like, that says a lot. You know, I'm making strides somewhere.
Hey, brother. Now, you know what? Man, I'm not joking when I say this. Yes, you are making strides. And if it's one thing I really like to have on my show is, you know, man, people of color, especially brothers, you know, doing good in the hood, putting it together for the community. And man, you, sir, you got some stuff going on over here. So we're going to talk about what you got going on, okay? Man, you have an app called Metro U.
Yes.
Tell us, man, all about that and how did you come up with it?
So Metro U is like, it's my baby. So I started that back in like 2010. It started off as just a web page.
Wow.
And it was, the whole gist of it was helping small businesses. So it was actually going to be like a community forum to help out small local businesses to know about their events, what they're selling. It was basically going to be the community part of Facebook that is now part of Facebook. And I scrapped it because I thought it was a bad idea. Yeah, I was just like, man, trying to get people together. People didn't want to know what's really going on local. You know, they got newspapers, they got all these outlets, they have blogs talking about everything. Do they really need something else, you know, to go to be like, this event is going on? So I was just like, I kind of scrapped it. At the time, it was called Metro 55. So I just, you know, I want to say about 2019, around November, I was just like, you know what, let me start back up this whole process. But let me turn this instead of a website, let me turn this into an app. So I called it Metro U because I wanted to focus on you, the consumers, like the business, you. So I was like, okay, what can I do? Like, not to just make another app, but what can I do to, you know, I guess transgress and just make something so monumental it stands out. And that's when I started looking into augmented reality. Most people who do augmented reality, everyone's aware of it. They just don't know the name of it. So I'll give you a couple examples. Face filters. It's augmented reality. It's an overlay of virtual onto like a realistic platform. So your face is the realistic platform. The filter itself is the virtual reality part of it. That's what makes you have the dog ears, everything else.
Okay, all right.
So yeah, that's the virtual overlay of it. Some people may remember it from Marvel. Tony Stark, when he's talking to Jarvis, and all these things pop up on the side. Yeah. That's another way. Other kids may remember Pokemon Go. That's another thing, you know, augmented reality. Yeah. So I've been working around with that because everyone's using it for so many different things. And to me, it was kind of like everyone was taking this Dodge Hemi, right, engine and putting it in this Neo Geo. And I was just like, you got all this power and you just putting it in this small little container. And so I really wanted to explore that. So I was just like, okay, cool. Let me see what I can do that was different. So I started messing around with it. And at the time, you know, COVID hit, you know, your favorite restaurant had QR codes for menus. And to me, looking at QR code is just like most people looking at a Sega Genesis. I'm like, wow, that's kind of old. You know, QR codes came out back in 2010 when I first got started, where you can just scan and go.
Yeah.
And so everyone thought I was like the new hypest thing. So I was just like, nah, so much more to augmented reality. So what I did was I started taking people's logos and I was just like, hey, just give me your logo. And so I took their logo, and from their logo, I could actually make a virtual video that showed up. So you can actually get your social media handles, your website. It can actually play like a 30 to 60 second video, giving your whole spiel about your products, your commercial. All this stuff pops up in an overlay just by scanning the logo. So it's a little more in depth than just feeling like you're scanning something that's on a shelf at a grocery store.
Right.
So started messing around more with that. Then I started augmenting statues. So I started bringing statues to life, to where, you know, if it's Abraham Lincoln, he can be like, you know, 470 years ago. He actually pops out and starts talking to you. So it gives you a brief history. If you want to do that for like a business standpoint, when you're sending the products, I have some people that send out candles. And so with each candle, they have a special message. And all you have to do is scan my app and they'll pop up and be like, hey, my name's Teresa. Thank you for buying my pumpkin spice for October. I really appreciate it. Matter of fact, click this link that's right here. And then it's like a virtual link that pops up. And you can just pop it, click it, and everything else. So I've been really steadily like working on augmented reality to help, because there's so many different avenues you can go on to help small businesses. Because a lot of times, especially with African Americans, we're the last to know about new technology. So I was just like, nah, let's not be the last. And so I've transcended what I wanted to do into like this bigger platform. And so now Metro U app is out in like Android as well as Apple. Okay. And then I'm also working on another part of Metro U, which I call Metro Tap. And so what that is that'll be out around next month. And it'll be like a little NFC sticker you put on the back of your phone, or you can, you know, have it on your wristband, anything. And what you do is you tap somebody's phone and all of your information gets transferred over to their phone. That means your social media, everything, all that. Like I'm making some little tabs now for people. You know, you ever went to somebody's house, they have to give you the Wi-Fi. You ever go to a company like, you know, Starbucks?
Dude, that's all the time. Like, I need the passcode, and they didn't, and they can't remember the passcode. Yeah,
I made it simple to where all you have to do is tap it, and then they get all your information. They connect to your Wi-Fi without you even giving a password. So I've made it that simple for people. I've made it to where if you needed to do a payment for someone, all you had to do was tap something on the wall, tap something wherever they have this at, you can just tap it, and then it just pays them. So their Venmo pops up, or either their Cash App pops up. I made it a lot easier for people to connect in this time. So I can do that to business cards. I've been doing that for people. Matter of fact, it can send you a text. Because I've been working on this, it'll send you a text. Like if you tap my little NFC piece, it can send a text as soon as you get in the house to tell your loved one or your kids, like, hey, I made it in the house safe, just by tapping it. You feel like going to bed, you don't feel like changing all the settings again. What you do is you tap my little card, and then all of a sudden it'll take your phone to vibrate. It'll dim the lights, and it'll turn off all of your apps, everything, just by a simple touch.
What?
Yeah, so I'm recreating how people move nowadays.
Man, brother, you are, man. I don't even think innovative is the word. I gotta come up with another word than innovative, man. Like, yeah. Just give me a minute. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna find it by the end of this like whole interview. But man, I honestly think that is dope and that is wonderful, man, because with the age and the day of this society that we live in, everybody wants it now. And you're already providing that for them with just a tap. Yeah. A touch. You know, and then everything else comes up. Look here, you're gonna win them over with the whole Wi-Fi thing. I'm telling you right now. Man, look. My people out here know how hard it is to go over somebody's house and be like, look here, man, you know, my laptop not working. What's your Wi-Fi password? You know what? I don't even remember. And half the time, I do believe they know. They just don't want to. Of course. I don't. Look, it's not electricity. It's Wi-Fi, people. Let me use some. Come on now. Stop playing with me. Anyway, no, man. I think it's good, man. I think it's dope. Man, look, South Carolina. All my people out there in South Carolina. All my people on the East Coast, period. Man, look, holla at this guy. He is on to something. He is on to something. Hey, dude, I think that is great. Please keep us involved in what it is with that.
Oh, most definitely.
Man. Now, let's move, on a little bit. I was reading through your info. Now, one of the things I found a little interesting about you, basically, these last couple of weeks, there was a ban with the Parler app. And those who aren't familiar with the Parler app, I believe it's more, look here, just in layman's terms, I'm gonna keep it real. It's an app not for us. And by us, I do mean urban, people. I'm pointing to the skin color, not just my wrist and hand. Skin color. It's not for us, okay? And that app was taken down, or it was banned in the last couple of weeks. But you have a previous app called To You Des or D's?
It's actually Tubes. Like it's this
Tube. Okay. Yeah. Tube. Thank you. I'm looking at it now. Tubes. Okay. So basically you have a previous app called Tubes. Now within like the last couple of days, 2,800 downloads.
Yeah. No, it got horrible quick on there.
Now, okay, now we talking about people from hate groups now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, man, tell us about this, man. How did all this happen?
So Parler was getting shut down. Like at the time, I think they got kicked out of Apple. Android kicked them out, and the last platform was Amazon. Amazon, most people don't know, has their own app store as well, and they were pretty much kicking them off of all of their modems, their systems. So that was pretty much all the backup that your apps need. Your apps need cloud space in order to store all the memories, all the profiles, everything. Yeah. They kick all your cloud space out. That's the memory. That's pretty much your app right there. That's everything that you need to run. Most people don't understand that your apps run based off, storage. And once you get rid of the storage, there is no app. Wow. And Amazon was getting rid of it, and somehow my app name, I would definitely say, my app has just been steady. I came out with the app, I want to say April. It's, had a steady little increase. It's a social media app, just working on some different things. And I will never forget this day ever. It was like a Saturday morning. I was at work at the kitchen, and all of a sudden my app, information thing is going off. It's just like, hey, you just had like 25 downloads. I'm like, oh, okay, I must
right. Okay,
cool. And then like 2 hours later, it's just like, yeah, you have 150 downloads. Okay, now I'm starting to worry because I didn't do anything previously to, adjust for this growth. Right. And I'm just like, okay, let me check. So I'm seeing like all these names, like, it has a breakdown of your analytics, like who was all. I was like, okay, it's not just like the East Coast thing, it's not South Carolina. It's like people from all over. Like I'm getting hit from Wisconsin, California, Texas, New York. And I'm just like, I'm looking at where these people are chiming in from. I'm just like, okay, that's good. Somebody must have mentioned me somewhere.
Right.
And then something just told me, it's like, yo, check your social medias. So I'm just going on hashtagging Tubes, trying to add Tubes, trying to see what's going on. And then I get on Twitter, and I'm part of the group that's like, my app somehow made it to a group for Parler, to where they were shutting it down. They was like, hey, you guys are trying to move over to, because there's another one called Gab. Gab got kicked off, so now they have their own servers. They was like, no, don't go to Gab, because there's another one up called Tubes. Let's go over there. And so the link was sent out in this group.
Oh.
So I was just like,
wow.
I'm looking in this group, and you can tell the type of people that's in this, that's just like, oh yeah, let's download it. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, no, I don't mind having people on my app, but I see what
right.
Parler shut down. I don't need you to get me shut down.
Man, please don't get me shut down.
Right. Saturday night, it was just like, you have 500 downloads. You have 300 more downloads. I'm like going through, and they're like literally plotting stuff on my app. They're like pictures, everything. I'm just like, delete. At first, because when you have an app, you have to send out like, hey, this doesn't, go along with,
right,
the store or my app. So you have to pretty much flag them and then get rid of them. I was flagging people left and right. People on my app was just like, yo, who are these people? And I'm just like, yeah, I thought I was scaring with, hey, I'm black.
Right.
And it was just like, I ended up having to delete, like, it took me 3 days to delete all the people that were just causing all the riffraff off of it. It was like a major thing because you have to go on and flag these people. And I had like people were sending me emails like, hey, Ken, I don't know if you know this person. And I'm getting like pictures. People were sending me pictures of my own app. And I'm just like, this is not what it was meant for. So wow. People kept telling me to capitalize off of this. But how it goes is my apps were connected. And if they kick one off, they were going to start looking at the others. And that's, I didn't need that.
So now, you know what? You bring, man, it's very interesting that that you bring that up. Now, man, like a lot of people have misconstrued thoughts when it comes to, you being a creative, man, you coming up with an app. Like you just said, man, like, yeah, why don't you capitalize off it? The main thing people will look for is, man, how can I make money off this? Well, if you don't really care about your product and you're looking at that, then it's not an issue. But as you said, man, look here, I have another app, you know what I'm saying? And this is connected to that. If they kick this off, man, this is next. And they kick that off, as you said, you lose your storage.
Yep.
It's gone. You know what I'm saying? So what is like, man, one thing people get misinformed about you being a creator?
People tend to think that you really have all of the power. Yeah, you control the app. I tell people that, yeah, we control the app and yeah, we monitor it, but it's still some things that we have to abide by. Like in order for you to have an app placed in the store, you still have to abide by Android or Google, their Play Store. They all have rules and everything. So they send, you get constant emails about things that they updated, like, hey, well, we no longer allow this, or we no longer want this on the app. And then iOS is even harder. iOS, they go through with the fine-tooth comb and they're just like, okay, we don't allow this. You might want to go back and tweak it. They'll kick your app out for something that they just don't like. I learned that the hard way when I created an app. Like Tools was at first supposed to just be for like if you wanted to send private information. So I figured out a way to do no screenshots and no screen recordings. Okay, with that information, Android allows that, right?
Right.
But iOS doesn't. So they kicked me back like 15 times. It's just like, yeah, we want all users to be able to screenshot whatever they see. So they're more, we want to give the power back to the user. So it's kind of like I had to ditch that whole thing because I couldn't do it on both apps. And, people are going to start feeling some type of way. So iOS is definitely like, they can make things hard. And Facebook's finding that out right now the hard way because they're a great app. You know what I'm saying? Facebook is taking over, but they're on a platform to where they're still controlled by the rules of Apple.
And you can't fight them. I'm telling you, you can't fight them.
Using their platform, so you really can't fight it. So the one thing people get misconstrued is they believe that once you come up with this app, you just have, reign to do whatever you want to do. Like, no. This creating a social media app, most people don't even know you have to have a privacy. People have to be able to be blocked. You have to be able to kick people off. You have to be able to report. you have to have a privacy thing as well as guidelines, as well as what you're doing with their information once you get it. Like all that stuff has to be in there before they can even approve you.
But okay, so I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm glad that's one of the things I wanted to bring to light because as you said, man, since 2010?
Yeah. So
man, we're talking like 11 years. All right, and you're just now forming it into what it is, man.
Oh yeah, no, that was Metro U. Tools is something I came up with. Yeah, that was me. Tools is something I came up with just like last year, playing around. I wanted to do my own version of a social media.
Okay.
And I did. Yeah, that just came about because everybody was complaining because TikTok was kicking them out because of the algorithm.
Okay, well, hey, stop it, people. Okay, but no. All right, so let's get back to Metro U. 10 years, all right? Man, I'm sorry, 11 years in the making. Man, put it on the shelf, brought it back, tweak. Put it back on the shelf. Time go by. Man, you know what? I can take that, man. Let me modify what's on the shelf. You know what I'm saying? You mentioned Tony Starks and Jarvis earlier, all Marvel fans, Man, I mean, that's how we get the, Vision. No Ultron, just Vision. We don't want Ultron coming in. Nah, dude, we don't want no Ultron for my Marvel fans. Y'all know who Ultron is. We don't want that. All right. We want Vision. We don't want Ultron.
Exactly. Yeah, we don't want Ultron. Like, no.
Yeah, right. No. Ultron mess up everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, have your old stuff messed up. Anyway. No, man, I think that's great. I am really feeling everything you got going on right now. But let's talk about some other stuff that you do, man. Like, look here. Generosity, all right? That's one of the words I use, man. Let's talk about, man, your efforts during the holiday season. Man, you out here giving out scholarships and stuff like that. Let's talk, man, dude. Let's talk about this. What's going on with that?
So I never really had that much help. And you know, I would definitely say I don't blame my community for not helping me. I don't even blame like some friends for not even like, you know, fully helping me with some stages, because where I was going, I couldn't ask people who've never been there. So I had to do my own research. You know, a lot of times we get mad at people because we were just like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking for this, I'm looking for this. But sometimes where you're going, if you don't know anybody there, you just have to, you know, bump your head, make mistakes, read. I consistently read, like when I was first starting off in my hot dog stand, I would sit up in Books A Million, get the free water every day for like a year and a half. And I would just go through marketing books, food books, technology books. I would just read consistently because where I wanted to go, I really couldn't ask anybody because no one was really on that level. So it was kind of like, you know, even now when I get information, I ask this at firsthand, like, have you experienced this? And a lot of people may feel some type of way when I ask that, but I'm asking that because if you receive the secondhand, sometimes people don't tell their whole story to you.
True.
And some of the most important, vital things that probably could help me through my struggle was not, you know, relayed to you. So I'm missing a whole section thinking that I got the book and not knowing I'm missing a couple chapters. And I'm just like,
man, yeah.
This didn't go the way I thought it. You sure that you? Well, he didn't tell me that part. So I was, you know, I've always been like a first-hand person. Like I wanted to ask the person who actually did it. And so with that information, it was kind of like my scholarship was meant for someone who really can see themselves being an entrepreneur. I even had you write something, like you had to write an essay. You had to get people to, you know, validate you, saying that, you know, this is a good person in the community, professional as well as friends go. Because that person or those people that took that extra step to do that really won. And I know how I was when I, you know, first got started. I'm really, like still now, I'm still hungry for it. And sometimes those people are overshadowed because, you know, favoritism, or someone just doesn't know, like, you know, their talent, they're not looking. So what I did was I put it out there for anyone. Just, hey, if you can turn this in, give your best work. And I got incomplete stuff. I had, you know, people who were just sending in halfway things, thinking that they can just get the money. And then I just had this brilliant young woman, Candace, and she was just like, sent everything in. I mean, like, she was story and all, and she really wanted it. From that, I was just like, okay, cool. Like, she really wants this. And I love it because that mentality she has is going to take her so far, like even past the money that I give her. So this is just a stepping stone to be like, hey, I see you, you're worthy. Like, not even worthy, like you've always been worthy, but sometimes people need that validation to be like, nobody's looking at me. You know, sometimes you feel like nobody's looking at my work. And you just need that one person to come by and be like, yo, I read that article last week, man. Great. You know, so I saw you on that podcast. Keep doing your thing. Right. We all need that boost. And so I'm definitely glad that I could be of service in that. Money is not really a thing because it comes and goes. I tell people that all the time. But an investment in someone is great, you know. Even with I gave away the food, I was just like, hey, I want to use all black farmers. And people were just like, oh, I know somebody who, are they black? I mean, because once again, people are often overlooked, especially us.
So to your point, you know, which, no, man, you bring up a lot of good points. So as you said, when you were, giving out the scholarship, this is the criteria I asked for the scholarship. 99.9% of those did not abide by the criteria that you asked for in the scholarship. But here comes that point one, walking along. You know what? Oh, you're asking for this, that's, then the other, la-da-da-da-da. Man, I can sure use that. You know what? I'm going to do all that. I'm going to send all that in. And she probably thought in her mind, there's no way I'm going to win. You know, like he probably has like a million other people. But little does she know, like, there's a lot of entries, but they're not doing what I asked them to do. You're the only person to do what I asked them to do from point A to point Z. And, you know, we have a joke, like, you know, Black folks can read, but they don't. So you got to put it in Braille for them to feel.
That's facts. That's facts.
All right.
That is facts on top of facts.
I'm just saying it, y'all. Just saying it. Anyway,
he's speaking the truth, though. I mean, that's what stops us from a lot of everything. Even like I said, even when, and then you know what? My biggest thing is, I want to show people that just because it's the color of your skin, you shouldn't be offensive. And I say that in saying we're the only people that our skin color or mentioning our skin color will either scare a basis away or even scare our own people away. Everyone else can be fine, you know, creating something. And then all of a sudden, just by our skin tone is like crazy. Most people didn't even know we had black farmers here until I was just like, hey, all this produce was produced by black farmers. So we have black farmers? I'm like, it's not a foreign thing. Agriculture. It's not, you know, it's called agriculture. People do grow their own food.
Right. They do.
And it was just nice to have a spotlight put on them because not everybody wants to, you know, everyone wants to go to the grocery store, but, you know, the local person down the street needs just as much help. And this is what he does for a living.
Yeah.
And so people just, you know, sometimes we get complacent and we just want things, you know, like this, not understanding that it's killing certain businesses.
Man.
Majority of the time us.
Yes. And well, I mean, but you know, man, we could spend all day on this, but man, it's pretty much like you said, sometimes we are our own worst enemy. And, you know, just in opening up a supermarket or like a general store or something of that nature, where I can be selling fresh fruits and produce and this, that, and the other, like getting like quality meats that, you know, you go over here to the big market, man, you know, their truck comes in probably like once a week. You know what I'm saying? Right. So half the time, man, I will probably say, and I'm being generous when I say this, 40% on that stuff is probably fresh. And I'm being generous and saying 40%, you know what I'm saying? But you would rather go patronize them because of the name and because of all this, and you disregard the mom and pop store. You've seen this happen just like I've seen it happen. They may have it over here for $3.49. My man's selling it over here for $3.53 fresh. Y'all charge too much. I'm going over here. Sense.
The mentality. We love to support people who wouldn't even stay in our community.
People, we gotta do better. For real. This is why, man, look, this is why my show is here. This is why I got brother Ken over here, man. You know, he over here changing the community, man. I'm over here thinking about what you just said, you know, with the young lady in the scholarship and what you said earlier about people, you know, sometimes you just can't see people in the lane that you want to get in because there's just not anybody in that lane, you know? And that young lady receiving that scholarship now, okay, she knows, you know what, man, I met you. You know what I'm saying? I know it is possible. Man, you did encourage that person to go on and do, you know, bigger and better things in life. So that's what's up, man. That's what's up.
I'm definitely always trying, man. I have to push the envelope. I gotta push it.
Gotta push it. All right, man. Now, man, we about to wrap this up. But before we wrap this up, I gotta ask you about your YouTube channel. What's going on with your YouTube channel, bro?
Cooking show. So I'm gonna be doing like some food with a twist, like healthy food, vegan food, regular soul food. I'm gonna be mixing it up for a little bit any and everybody. Like if you're on a camping trip and all you have is a lighter and some oil and some old tuna, I'm gonna show you how to make a gourmet meal with it. Like I want to challenge people to take what's in your cupboard and use it. You know, a lot of times how many people buy groceries and they just sitting in there and you just like, man, you could turn this into a 5-star meal if you knew what you were doing.
Look, man, one of my biggest pet peeves is when people go to the grocery store, buy all this stuff to throw it out 5 days later, only to go back to the store to buy the same thing that you were not going to eat, to throw that out 5 days later, and then be like,
exactly.
I wonder why they stopped selling that. Let's shut my mouth. Anyway, you know what? I'm gonna be quiet. Woo, boy.
You're right though, and all that food, and you just like, why don't you just cook this in the back of the freezer? I mean, it's been there.
You can have what you want for cheaper, you know. We won't go there. Anyway, man, how can people get in contact with you if people want to, man, talk to you, reach out to you, say what's up, man, got ideas or whatever they want to throw at you? How can people get in contact with you?
My email address, knsallstar@gmail.com. My Facebook, the Lazarius Walker, Lazarius Walker. Mm-hmm. Trust me, I'm the only one that pops up. My IG is the.Ken Walker. So the.Ken Walker. You can find me. I'm pretty much everywhere, man. I'm just look. You type in Metro U, I'm the only person that shows up in Metro U.
Okay,
so it's a lot of.
That's good though. That's good. I mean, that's your brand. We want to know that's you. That's what's up, man. Come on,
so that's me. I mean, you can reach out, contact me. A lot of times, you know, we have a lot of ideas in our head. We just don't know how to go further, you know, or far with it. And trust me, I've done it. I've read a lot. I still read consistently every night. Like as soon as I get off here, I'm still gonna read for like 45 minutes. Man. And it's always a new topic.
Being a student, man. Being a student, never stop learning. Man, gotta appreciate that. Look here, man. I've enjoyed myself sitting here talking to you, man. This has been great. Unfortunately, I've come to the very last question of my show, so I have to ask that to you. All right. Ken Walker, what is the one word that best describes you and why?
Ambitious. I'm ambitious because where I'm at is not where I see myself. And I always feel like I can go further. I'm a person right now, and I feel like, yeah, I have a couple of businesses, but I want to be a corporation. So I'm always ambitious. I'm always willing to get that to that next step. I want more. Give me more information. Like I said, most people, they want more money, and I'm greedy for knowledge. And I love those steps to get there. Like, let me read this book. Let me take this article out. Let me listen to this spokesperson. Let me do this. I'm ambitious because I want to be the best in my skin. Like, and by saying that means a lot of representation. When we look up to people in technology or sometimes in food and culinary, it's not us. So in order for me to get there, I have to be ambitious. And I have to be, you know, my second word is relentless. Can't stop. You know, you cannot stop. You got to keep going. Like, you tired? That's nice. That's cool. That's cute.
Yeah.
But wake up and do it over again. You know, it's, you know, repetition. So, yeah, I'm very ambitious when it comes. I'm hungry for knowledge. Always. You know, send me something. You know, challenge me. That's how I feel. That's how I get better. Challenge me.
I'm going to put out a word. I'm going to go visionary. And I'm going to tell you why. You just, man, do everything we've talked about. Everything we've discussed from the time that this interview has started up to now, man, required you to have that vision. I don't care if you started it 10 or 11 years ago. You still have to have the vision to start. You know what I'm saying? Man, took a little time off, man. You had to get it together. You had to see it, though. Just because you built it doesn't mean it was meant to be used at this moment. You know, you have to learn how to operate, you know. Well, man, look here. Somebody could just hand, look here, Ken, man, I got this tank for you, man. Go ahead, take it for a spin. You got to sit there and read the instruction manual. Man, you got to figure out, okay, well, damn, man, if I go down here, there's a bridge. I wonder how much this bridge can hold before I take this tank across this bridge. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, a thinking person and a person with vision would do that. A person with no vision wouldn't even, man, first of all, they wouldn't even have that in their head. You know what I'm saying? They get it, they finna blow up everything. You know what I'm saying? So that is what it is.
I respect that and I appreciate that, man. Literally, I do, you know, I appreciate that because sometimes it feels good, you know, just to, especially when it comes from another black man, it feels good. You know, a lot of times, a lot of us are at odds and it doesn't have to be. And so just doing that, man, I'm very respectful, and I'm thankful for that, because it's a lot. A lot of times, you know, we just, as black men, we don't get the notice or respect that we deserve. Everyone likes to take the things that we do, you know, everyone likes to use us.
Yeah.
They don't like to, you know, give us that same moral support or support. So I'm definitely thankful. You know, nobody told you that today. I'm gonna tell you that today. I'm thankful, brother.
Well, man, dude, I'm gonna keep it real, man. I'm thankful that you know, took the time, like, to just come on and just, man, share with us, you know, your knowledge and pretty much what you got going on. Because especially like in tech, man, and, you know, all these apps and everything else that's going on, like, to see more of us, you know, like, man, and like to just be there and like connected, man, you know, it works wonders, man. It works wonders. And plus you need somebody like yourself to talk to, just to, you know, keep yourself grounded, you know.
Very true.
Man, but man, this has been Word with Ty Brownlow. I'm your host, Ty Brownlow. Remember, no one is worthless. No story is worthless. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Word with Ty Brownlow. Or you can just go to my website, tybrownlow.com. You can get this wonderful interview, plus other great interviews. Man, Ken Walker. We out.
All right.
Peace.